Nah, today's video is different. We're looking at matchmaking. You see this guy right here? He's gonna be my example of Jump Force matchmaking. Because really, Jump Force matchmaking is not good. I mean, Jump Force isn't really that good of a game, but it's my opinion. But I just want to showcase the way that they matchmaked me, or use matchmaking. They gave me this guy, right? This is like just a basic, whatever. This guy is just trying to live his life, playing Jump Force. I don't think that's possible, buddy, because Jump Force matchmaking says otherwise. In reality, you get matchmaked with him twice. The even funnier part about this clip is that it really showcases the matchmaking potential that they had when they were like, let's put ranking systems in games. But instead of actually putting you up against an opponent that you're supposed to put up against, you put up against the same person twice. By the way, in all of this, he is actually in a lower rank than me, so it's not even like there's no other ranks that are in my ranking field. It's the fact that it's a lower rank, and he didn't even deserve the treatment that he had gotten from this matchmaking. Because it pretty much said, why give you, a balanced matchmaking when we can just pretty much say, no, we don't feel like that. I feel like, for the most part, this matchmaking was very unfair to how Jump Force really showed when it came to just matchmaking you with the right person. Because if it had good matchmaking, like if we looked at this as a relatively good game, then I probably wouldn't have. Not only would I not have been matchmade or put with the same exact person. Like, let's be real here. Like, any game, no matter what it is, losing or winning that fight, if I decide to go find a new opponent, I should be placed with someone completely different. And like I said, the messed up part about it is that it's not even in our control. It's in the game's control on whether or not we matchmake with the same person or not. And they said, why not give him the same exact person? Now, of course, it eventually stopped. Like, as you'll see soon, it's going to matchmake me with someone completely different. But the fact that that's even possible just really ruined the whole experience that you could have with this game. Let alone with any game. It's just common sense that it shouldn't happen, and I feel like it was done to an extent to where you didn't even get an opportunity to do anything about the matchmaking that you got put up against. Like, whatever opponent I get put up against, I didn't even get to, discuss. If I wanted to really, the thing is, if I wanted to actually rematch somebody, I would rematch that person. I'd press the rematch button. I did not press rematch. I moved to the next match, and it didn't give me a new match. It's depressing. It's sad, but in total, it's not even fair. It's just, it's sad. And then, and the next subject we're about to get on is 10 times more aggravating than the previous one. Like, bro, I cannot wait. Right about here, right here. This kind of just shows exactly what it's like to be just simply punished. This was one, and I mean one, combo string that was unblockable. Like, as you can see right there, that was a strong attack. If I blocked that, my shield would have been broken. And the entire time, as you can see, there was only one opening in that entire string that I could have actually stopped myself from getting boxed. But as you can see, no, doesn't exist. He can just spam the same combo, same moves, over and over again. Now, the subject that we're on now, character balancing / the punishment for doing even one simple mistake in a fight in this game. Bro, I can't even begin to describe how easy it becomes for some people when they just want to do something. Like, if you get punished in this game, it could go two ways. Either A, it's something small, something light that you can come back from. Either that, or it's detrimental and it leaves you dead. It like ends the round pretty much. It leaves you with hardly any options. Usually people can just spam the exact same move and just, nothing you can really do except slowly just only block, which I feel like at that point in time, if I'm forced to be in a match where I have to solely block, and when I mean solely block, I mean just only be able to block, nothing else, nothing, like not at all. It's tragic to think that that's something that needs to be done just to be able to play the game. That I have to literally block and only block to be able to actually do anything.
God.
And it's sad. It's sad. It's so sad because what are you gonna do in that type of situation? Like nothing. And then sometimes they'll do something stupid like that where it just randomly decides to give you a chance. And obviously that cutscene was saying that I shouldn't have had that happen to me, but it just said, why not give him that chance to do whatever we feel like. And it just really shows how Jump Force just does not care about some like actual combos or actually trying to attempt to do certain things. Like some people, like from time to time, I've seen some people have done some crazy things. Like if you actually know what you're doing in this game and you are actually a pretty skilled player, then you can get off some really cool combos that actually take some skill. But for some people, it's impossible to do anything. And the funny thing is, this was the first game I even played on, like, this is like a whole new day, by the way. But this is like the first game that I played. And it's funny because it's just, it's the example of exactly what this game likes to do to you. Not even in genuine matchmaking is it a fair chance for you to win. And it leaves you just completely astray with like no other questionable chances of you winning. Like it comes from here to just completely zero. There's almost no chance of winning when it comes to trying to do anything in this game. And I just feel like half the time I'm playing this game or I try to play this game, it just leads to complete and utter failure with no other chances that come down to it. Now, in total, there's a lot of spamming that can happen in this game. There's a lot of combos that are just given way too much credit versus the amount that it should be given. Plus, the amount of times that I have to deal with certain people, such as this, who can just pretty much say, I don't care what you do. No matter how much you can do, if you're not blocking, if you're not grabbing, if you're not doing unblockable moves such as that, then you're just never gonna be able to actually win against me. And it's just not even like a bounce game at that point. It's more of a who can press buttons better than the other person, and who can make the game as unfair as it possibly can be. And it just goes all the way back to like being punished and genuinely not being able to do anything about it. Like, I understand, when you're getting punished, I don't think you should be able to do too much about it, because, it's a punishment. It's like a full-on counter. It forces you to get into a mix of not being able to do anything because you decided to attack first and your attack did not land. But the fact that no matter what you could do in this game, no matter what you do, punishment is just given way more credit than it should be, because for some combos and for some things, I feel like it takes so much effort to do one combo versus someone trying to just simply do whatever they feel like. Because the amount of subs, the amount of like, distance I have to make between a person just to be able to land a single hit is astonishing, to think that it has to constantly be shown in a new light. Always something new has to be shown to your opponent for your opponent to be able to even like have a small chance of losing. Because if they decide to just spam and do what they feel like, if you don't know what you're doing, or if you have, you know, the no other abilities in your roster that just allow you to even remotely counter what they can do, then you might as well just, you know, pack your bags, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to some people. And to be honest, it won't have to matter when you can just use spam as your main source of energy. And it's pretty sad to think that, you know, playing games like this
Oh my
and having to
god. He just used the
watch
same
as people can just spam and use the same combos over and over again really just shows
So annoying.
how
Just
easy this game can
do do do.
fall
What
from
the?
any type of
Jesus.
chance it had.
Everyone just
Because
give off that person that
it's
mighty button.
it's so sad to think that there's a chance for you to actually play this game fairly. Like, if you try to play it fairly, you lose. If you play it scummy, you have a higher chance of winning. The only time it doesn't work is if the other player has already experienced it or already has a decent skill behind them, to where it just doesn't matter
Oh
what you
my
do, because
god.
they can see right through it and do whatever they need to do to get through the problems that arise when spammers just decide to press buttons. But it's more known for people who don't know how to do anything about it, or who can't do anything about it. You know, it's certain things that you can do in this game that actually change that. One of them being, well, just simply pressing the same button they press.
Oh,
In
Zoro, I
total, this
love you.
game is
I actually love
unbalanced
you.
and
Oh
has
my
many problems
god.
that come to it, but I feel like if it had a little bit more work, maybe. But, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's my opinion, so, meh.